Yes, indeed, people. The Black American Relationship Reboot is on the air, YouTube, Facebook, and the world. And tonight, I'm telling you, I'm excited because we've been trying to get this cat down in the studio for a while now. We have with us Brother Calvin Mann from the Good Fathers Only group. Talk to my people out there, Calvin. Good Fathers, what's going on, brother?
Nothing, man. How you doing?
I'm well.
Good, good.
Tell them about this Good Fathers Only group. What is this about here?
Man, we just bringing fathers together in a membership, voting membership, growing, getting fathers to become more active. And we're getting ready to start some new procedures, so you just can't walk into the group now. Now you're going to have to be interviewed because we got to have dedication.
Right.
In the past, we've had men who have been in a group but was not dedicated. We got to have dedication.
Okay, all right. We looking for men that's dedicated at the Good Fathers.
Yeah, because
Only
then
group.
we can get more done. You know what I'm saying? Right now, when we do something, if it's just 7 men, can't get as much done as you do if it's 50 men.
Right. Now, let me set this up for you folks out there who might not be aware. I've been with this guy here for, at least, it's going on a good 8 years now with the Good Father Only piece. And we do a lot in the community here in Detroit, Michigan, and beyond. I mean, you also have chapters in other cities with this Good Fathers Only group, don't you?
Yep, we're working right now with Atlanta right now to get it going and see how we can be beneficial to Atlanta.
And Detroit to Atlanta, people. The group is
we're looking for, some other men, Dallas. We looking.
Right.
Because, what we're trying to do is just copy. Just copy, exactly. From one group to the next, let's copy and get some things done. Being involved in the community is important.
And we know, like we had a young lady on with a mentor piece trying to pretty much get the brothers put out there on the positive tip. We know it ain't easy for black men out here being fathers, and we know we don't get much pub. They don't barely show us on TV, even in the commercials, the woman is single. So what was your impetus for starting the group Good Fathers Only? I know you was trying to put the men out front, but it's been 8 years. How you been keeping us out front?
Brother, it all started, God gave me a vision. It was, I used to say, it was funny, when my son was 12, I asked God, let that be all that I know. It's Good Fathers. And suddenly in my life, I would be in partnership with, men and, different things.
Right, exactly.
Where we would talk and we'd be hanging out, and it was football, and we start recognizing there were more fathers, but then it was actually a Day's Day Out event at Belle Isle.
Okay.
Me and my cousin, we jumped out here. I had a trunk full of them. And this event, you wasn't supposed to have them, but I popped the trunk because I had one on.
Okay, one of your shirts.
Yeah, and the men jumped in, and then we left there, and I went to Rouge Park and just started walking through Rouge Park, showing fathers the shirt.
Right.
And, people laughed, people, shunned, turned me away, oh, no, But then I came up on these 5 men.
Okay.
And
they was feeling you on that Good Fathers piece.
Right, and one man turned and walked away. And so when he turned and walked away, it was because he wasn't. He wasn't in his kid life.
Okay.
He was saying how he owed child support. It was a number of things.
So he would say he wouldn't even feel right wearing the shirt.
No, he just walked away. And so his friends was like, and I asked his friends at that point. Anyway, they bought a bunch of shirts that day, and I realized that we had to do more.
Okay.
And from there, we just kept going. And then my lawyer got me Good Fathers Only LLC. I had already had the nonprofit.
Right.
And then I put together the group and the nonprofit.
Yes, indeed. And this is just one thing this brother does. That's why he said it's one of the groups. He's got Encourage Me, I'm Young. You can find him online and then on Facebook. Lots of things he's out there doing in the community. But I know for a fact that this is his baby right here, because it's important that the men know that we're going to have to turn this thing around. Good fathers, and it's a promotion thing. We trying to promote the fact that we are good fathers, and that's the battle here. So I know you're also doing something. You just finished the book. called Just Ask. What is this book here?
Well, let me expound on the Good Fathers, so your listening audience and the people that's watching can understand.
Yes, sir.
Fatherhood. First of all, we're named. Once you become a father, you're named after the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Father, our Father, we pray. So
right.
that's reverence in itself.
Exactly.
Then, you know, there's a number of other conglomerates that, or religions or whatever, that refer to the word father, which is giving some kind of greatness and everything. Within everyday life, even from the 70s, the 60s, and the 70s, even the sitcoms, we've made the father look foolish. He's not as smart. He's not as bright. It wasn't until, you know, a couple of shows, Cosby,
Bill Cosby, right?
And a couple of other shows start turning that allure around, you know, and the perspective is because TV has such an influence.
Exactly.
You
battling against some heavy
stuff, right? And so when you start getting into the men, you got to look at the influences of the community and the men in the community and the words that we share. You know, the different religions and the different cultures and the things that we share with men. Stoop the men, because while we're sharing those things, we are not sharing the most important thing, which is fatherhood. Okay. If we're not sharing legacy building, we're not sharing those things. We're not teaching our sons when we pass things on. When a son is in, when you start looking at the numbers, and people that go and look at the numbers, when a man is involved or has custody of the child, the success of the child is far greater than the single format of the child that we push as a culture on our women. That stress now resides in our women, right? And so, and then you have the syndrome. It's become a syndrome to be a single parent.
Right. And to denigrate men.
And to denigrate men.
And what you were saying about the media piece, it affected the women just as much as the guys.
Yeah, so if you go away from the women, you got to go into feminism, you got to go into, you know, there's a number of areas where we are constantly belittled. So, as a young man, going back to the whole piece of fatherhood, as a young man, tell me, what does a young man have to look forward to at being a father? So when he becomes a father, that becomes the biggest fear. Okay. Right? If he's 16, 17, 18, no matter what, 20, when I was 23 and I had my oldest boy, I was scared. Right? So I can't imagine you being 15, 16 in this time, right? And wanting to be and having to be a father when everything societal-wise, right now, when it comes to, let's go black men first. So we'll say societal-wise, black men under major attack from himself and society. Exactly. Right? So then when we get to the other phase of it, men, period, we were in a convention last year, and one of the things that we discovered that Dr. Warren talked about is a very brilliant man. Dr. Warren, you can look him up, but he was talking about, he's psychiatry, he was on Oprah too. He was talking about the dynamic of men. Okay. Right? Women still want men to be a man. Right.
To be a head of the household. And
all of that.
The breadwinner.
Although all these dynamics change, the one natural entity for a woman is she still wants a man to be a man. Now, all the other foolishness that's come into play and the things that's come into play that's deteriorating family, that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother show. But more importantly, fathers, right? We the coldest. And that's why we push Good Fathers only. We swag fatherhood so the young men, young fathers and other fathers, here's your identity piece. This what separates you, right, from everything else that this society say. If you got this on, a bunch of people gonna touch you. Right. A bunch of people gonna talk to you. The kids in the neighborhood gonna be drawn to you. Your neighbors, everybody is gonna come and they're gonna touch you and they're gonna ask what that's all about. Right. And so that in itself, and it being about fatherhood, again, no matter how we look at this, Brother Mark, I think I'm the coldest thing on the planet. And that's what God said I was when he said fathers first, right?
That's right.
So
that's
if
right.
God said that fathers are first, we are the solution to what is deteriorating us. The problem is that we are not the ones that's teaching the future generation of boys, and we are not the ones that's in connection with the understanding of teaching. And so that's something that we're working on as far as our program, because now we're going to program it, and we're adding venting to our group, and that whole membership thing is going to offer some other things.
Good. That's a great thing. And, you know, 1 minute. Oh my goodness, this show, we down to 1 minute. Tell us about the book here. Just ask, baby.
Just ask. You can give it to any child, son, daughter, friend, you yourself. It's a 40-day way to find your purpose. It's another way for you to ask God for anything that it is that you need. So in that process, you have to get the book, but meditating is a part of this. And if you can get your 18-year-old who's on their way to college to meditate and plan, you're going to have a pretty sharp kid.
Okay, it's also like a 40-day journal. I see you can write in here.
It's a journal. But all you recording is all the good that you see. We do no negativity. We want no negativity in God's hands. Okay. God wants us to put in his hands proper things and asking proper things to get proper results.
Folks, Calvin Mann, Just Ask, 40-day journal.
You can get that at emmyworld.com, EMIYworld.com. We also got a product called Swag, Standing with an Awesome God. Go to the website, order that, and let's get out. We are not playing, and we don't intend to be moving slow.
They don't tend to be moving slow. They never move slow. I'm down with this brother here, Calvin Mann. I love all of y'all, as we always say, at the Black American Relationship Reboot. We tired of racism. We down with peace and love. Out.
Encourage me. I'm young.
There you go, folks.